So this coming Thursday, people all over the world are going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day. They're going to wear green and drink green beer, and they're going to wear buttons that say, "Kiss me, I'm Irish," no matter what their heritage is. They're going to look around for leprechauns, for good luck. And these days, I definitely think of St. Patrick's Day as being good luck for me, because I got sober 30 years ago on St. Patrick's Day. I actually call it St. Patricia's Day because I'm so holy. So needless to say, I celebrate this day, absolutely for sure. I just celebrate it a little bit differently than a whole lot of other people. This year I'm treating myself to a trip to New York City. I'm leaving on Wednesday morning because what better way to celebrate a 30th sobriety birthday than on St. Patrick's Day at Times Square, right? It's a little ironic. So part of the lore around St. Patrick's Day is about being lucky, right? So in honor of that, we're going to talk about this concept of luck, because we always talk about it. So here is the dictionary definition for luck. A force that brings good fortune or adversity, or the events or circumstances that operate for or against an individual. Now that's a pretty good definition of luck, wouldn't you say? Because it covers both what we consider to be good luck and also what we might consider to be bad luck. So to start out, and I want you all to be honest with me here, okay? How many here believe that in order to live the life of our dreams, we have to have a wee little bit of luck? Come on, be honest here. You betcha. You betcha. Or how many of us here believe that some people are just lucky and some people are just unlucky? Born under a cursed star. Yeah? Yeah. Maybe we look at somebody who appears to have it all and we think, well, that lucky so-and-so. Why them and not me? Anybody? Anybody cop to that? You betcha. We might even think that life is unbalanced or unfair, because some people seem lucky and some people don't seem lucky. And I gotta admit, I even think this some way, and I'm supposed to know better, you know? And even with all that I know about the universe and about the law of cause and effect, sometimes it just seems to me that some people are luckier than others. They usually happen sitting at the slot machines when everybody around me is winning and I'm not. Yeah. And yet, as Marjorie already alluded to, the truth of the matter is there is no such thing as luck. There is consciousness, there is awareness, there is being in the right place at the right time by right of consciousness, but there's no such thing as luck, or kismet, or fortune, or even fate. And this is a hard concept to get, because it absolutely feels that some people have it better than others. And it also feels that some people have it not as good as others. However, what we teach in this teaching is that everything that happens to us, both the good and the less good, is a reflection of what we call our consciousness, our awareness, our belief systems. In other words, it is our beliefs, it is our thoughts, it is our choices, it is our responses to things that bring about our experiences. So one of the basics of our teaching is that we attract to us, number one, what we expect, and the second thing is what we are willing to accept. We attract to us what we expect and what we are willing to accept. Now you may be sitting here thinking, you've heard this before, and you'd be going, wait a minute, I don't expect to have that run of bad luck. I didn't bring that on myself, and I'm willing to accept good stuff. I buy my lottery tickets. What do you mean there's no such thing as luck? Come on, anybody? Yeah? All right. So I want to have you ask yourself something. When something unfortunate or not so pleasant has happened in your life, have you ever thought or said something along the lines of, I knew that was going to happen. Just my luck. Yeah? I should have seen it coming. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Yeah? And the last one is, I just can't seem to catch a break. Now, we may be saying these things, we may be thinking these things in jest, or we're just casual, just my luck. But what it is it's still indicating what it is that we are expecting out of life and what we are accepting from life. Because if you study the actions of people whose lives seem to be going really well, who seem to be lucky or fortunate, you will probably notice that not only are they pretty optimistic about life, but they also expect good things to happen. Am I right? You know what I'm talking about? So the question is, which comes first? Does the luck come first, or does the optimistic attitude come first? Is the good first, or is it the expectation of good? In my way of thinking, the optimistic attitude caused the luck. The expectation and the anticipation of good made room for the good to come in. Now, I know that sounds backwards. It does. It seems like I should be lucky first and then I'll be grateful. I should be lucky first and then I would be optimistic. But it's not, it doesn't work like that. It's a paradox of life. It's a paradox, like Emerson said, if you want a friend, be a friend. Emerson didn't say, well, go, just sit there and wait for good things, friends to come to you. No, you want a friend, be a friend. If you want to be lucky, be optimistic first. That's how this happens. Having that positive attitude and having that anticipation of good is the cause, and it attracts the luck or the good fortune, which then becomes the effect. Cause and effect. Got it? Yeah? So Emerson also wrote this: shallow men believe in luck. Strong men believe in cause and effect. Yeah. So when we understand this immutable, which means unchangeable, law of cause and effect, we understand that there isn't an arbitrary force out there that's dispensing good fortune and favors. It is a universal spiritual law that delivers to us what we think and believe, regardless of what that is. In other words, it puts the responsibility for our fortune or our luck squarely where it belongs, with us. There's not an outside force or deity that is playing favorites. So let me give you an example from my own life. And many people would look at my life now and think that I was pretty lucky. I've got this great job. I mean, this is my job. Oh my goodness. And I have a nice home, and I've got a loving family, and I've got a nice car, and I've got friends, and I'm healthy, and my life is pretty darn good. To look at me now, it would be hard to believe that 30 years ago, I was just sobering up from another binge weekend. It would be hard to believe that I was spiritually, mentally, socially, financially, and emotionally bankrupt. But I was. I was working part-time as a cashier in a gas station. And please forgive me for copying to this, doing lines of cocaine in the bathroom to keep me awake because I was working like a graveyard shift. The only friends I had were drunks and barflies. I had elevated liver functions, which was the first indication of cirrhosis of the liver. And I had just turned 29 years old. Bear in mind, I hadn't been raised like that. I've been raised in a loving home with lots of opportunities. I was a college graduate. I had lots of potential. But for some reason, during that period of time, I didn't believe it. I had allowed some earlier disappointments in the world color my view of the world. So as a result, I was living and I was experiencing what I believed to be true at that time, which was I was not worth it. And so why not throw my life away in that way? And then one day I decided to get sober. St. Patrick's Day, honest to God. Don't ask me why. I could not tell you what it was. I think it was a long dormant spark that woke up inside of me that day. And it wanted to express, and it wanted to know itself more. It was my higher self, it was my God self, waking up again. And whatever it was, I started on that long and arduous path to sobriety and self-discovery. And no, my life did not go swimmingly right in the beginning. Fate did not suddenly smile on me and I had the life that I have today. No, I worked, I cried, I got mad, I got scared, I was sad, I was cursing God, I made tons of mistakes. You know what I'm talking about. But whatever also happened is that I succeeded in a few things, which gave me more confidence to keep going. I went back to school, I got clerical skills, and that allowed me to get better jobs. I eventually made friends outside of bars. I started singing again, and my life got better. Now, some people would say that I was lucky to get sober and change my life, but what I know is that it was me, in partnership with my higher power, my higher self, that made my own luck. I unconsciously use this law of cause and effect to bring more positive, more fortuitous conditions into my life. And that is the beauty and sometimes the curse of the law of cause and effect. It works even when we don't know that it's working. It is always a work, not just because we're consciously using it. And it's not waiting around for us to discover it. The law of cause and effect works for everyone all the time, 100%, absolutely impartial and infallible. It responds to our beliefs and our thoughts, whether they're good or not so good, and it does it without our permission. We don't ever say, oh no, I don't want cause and effect to work today. It works all the time. Ernest Holmes put it this way: universal principles are never respecters of persons. The universe has no favorites. Therefore it is written, and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. In other words, anyone, everyone, can use this law anytime, anywhere, to improve their lives and to bring more luck. It isn't just limited to those who are fortunate or only the people that God likes best. It is limited only by our own beliefs and our acceptance and our expectations. Another quote by Holmes: since some people have been healed, use that word generically, since some people have been healed while others have not, the answer is not that God has responded to some and not others, but that some have responded to God more than others. Now, of course, you understand when I'm talking about God, I'm not talking about the guy up in the sky. It looks like Charlton Heston playing Moses, you understand. I'm talking about the life principle, that life force energy that is back of all things, and how it works in our lives is through this law of cause and effect. So that when we consciously use it, when we use it on purpose, the cause and effect, it responds to us in kind. So this brings me to my second point, that I want to talk about luck, and that is what Louis Pasteur said: chance favors the prepared mind. You've heard that quote before, haven't you? Chance favors the prepared mind. In other words, if we want to invite good luck in the form of prosperity and happiness and love and health and success into our lives, we need to be prepared to accept it. We need to do our mental work in order to attract and recognize it when it comes along. So I want you to imagine this for just a second. Imagine that our good is all around us like radio waves. Some of you of a particular generation are not going to understand radio waves, but I'll get to you in a second. So those of us who are of a certain age understand radio waves, okay? So imagine that we're in the midst of all of this energy that's like radio waves. Preparation means that we have our antenna up, ready to tune in, ready to receive. Or if you prefer, think about the internet. Unlimited information at our fingertips. But we cannot access it if our modem isn't on. And think about that in terms of the higher the speed of your modem, the better your connection, right? So spiritual practice, study, increases the speed of our spiritual modem, which brings us better luck. That makes sense? You bet it makes sense. Abraham Lincoln, I will study and get ready, and perhaps my chance will come. He didn't say, I'll lay around and wait for luck to find me. Maybe I'll get lucky. He said, I will study and prepare and expect, and then my chance will show up and I will recognize it because I am ready for it. So I told you I was going to include talking about classes. Do you all understand the gift that we are offering to people? The gift of spiritual study with financial assistance. This is unheard of in our teaching. If you want to learn how to get your antenna up to receive those waves, if you want to learn how to turn your modem on so that it will not go out again, you need to take classes. The foundations class, which is going to make all of this make a whole bunch more sense. Or the seven spiritual laws of success. Also talking about the law. Your antenna will go up and it will stay up. Your modem will stay on. When you study, like Abraham Lincoln said, what did he say here? I will study and get ready. And perhaps my chance will come. Because the good of the universe is all around us. Opportunities abound. We make our own luck when we study and we prepare. Because that tunes us right in. And we receive it and we act on it. So I want to share with you, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I want to close with two different Irish blessings. How many Irishmen do we have in the room?
Oh, yes.
Not as many as I thought. Okay, I got some Irish on my side. Yeah. The first one is called the Irishman's Life Philosophy. In life, there are only two things to worry about. Either you are well or you are sick. If you are well, there is nothing to worry about. But if you are sick, you only have two things to worry about. Either you will live or you will die. If you live, there's nothing to worry about. If you die, you only have two things to worry about. Either you will go to heaven or to hell. If you go to heaven, there's nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you'll be so busy shaking hands with your friends, you won't have time to worry. And the second one is just a simple reminder of how to maintain a positive attitude that will help you to keep your antenna up and your modem engaged. Always remember to forget the things that made you sad, but never forget to remember the things that made you glad. Always remember to forget the friends that proved untrue, but never forget to remember those who have stuck to you. Always remember to forget the troubles that passed away, but never forget to remember the blessings that come each day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks,